Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to VALORANT News, and what a day 2 we have had in the qualifiers in the North American side for Challenger. Some crazy upsets, some crazy results. 100 Thieves putting themselves on the verge of qualifying for stage 2. The same certainly cannot be said for Sentinels. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. Loads of new support the last few days. Absolutely love to see it, guys. Firstly, this crazy ace actually from Alexander, in Virgin 1's first series. We'll see how that goes actually for them later on in the day, because certainly they were part of some upsets, there's no doubt about it. This also to mention is yesterday I brought this tweet up, and I was thinking, looking back on the video, was this accidentally the CS team or something? Did I make a mistake? So they announced this VALORANT roster for OG yesterday, but it turns out this is effectively going to be their academy team, because as they go on to announce just later in the day, they've kind of partnered up with the London United squad, the Lithuanian team that of course was in the first stage of challenges in the European side, and they're partnering up with the organisation. You can see even the name, OG London United. That is really rather interesting, just because of all the rumours about what's happening next year with regard to the effectively pseudo-franchising the Riot is trying to do, where the organisations are going to be involved in some sort of franchise ecosystem where they probably can't get relegated and stuff, but at the same time they don't necessarily have to pay to enter. So pretty much every organisation right now that wants to be involved in VALORANT is probably trying to talk to Riot to get them to choose them effectively to be one of these partnered organisations as they are being described. Coco even says right here, some weeks ago I heard that London United were looking to sell their challenger slot, and so it's probably OG who gets a partnership with them for this second split. Both orgs are probably securing a spot in the franchise league next year, but still weird news clearly. Now George goes on to say this: the Riot Games has contacted several tier 1 organisations in VALORANT regarding that partnership process. 100 Thieves surely want to get involved. I know they're Optic, I'm sure they'll get involved. The real top dogs, the best teams from North America will probably get talked to. Not also just the best teams, but the real tier 1 organisations. We'll see what happens with Sentinels, of course. There has also been talk about Gen.G and T1, because of course they have big teams in other esports in different regions, for example Korea, stuff like this. And I do wonder whether they, as organisations who have struggled so far in North American VALORANT, will actually consider partnering with Riot to go maybe move to another region, right? Who knows? They could move their squad around, because there's going to be certain partner teams in the 3 major regions. We looked at that a few days ago. Effectively one big region in the Americas, one big region in Europe, one big region in Asia. So you're going to have partners in each region effectively, and some teams are going to be somewhere and maybe they'll have to find themselves other spots. Who knows? Riot's been talking about it, but effectively the teams actually get paid a little bit of money for their long-term investment into the VALORANT ecosystem. So we'll see who gets selected over time, because most organisations I imagine are going to try and vie for that spot effectively, because if you get it, then you're probably not going to be losing out. And NRG are maybe showing that they're willing to do exactly that, because I'm pretty sure this guy Edward used to work with 100 Thieves actually, and they've brought NRG, they brought Ethan over to NRG from 100 Thieves. They brought this guy over as well. So basically a sports psychologist, not only showing they're really serious about making this VALORANT project work, but also kind of showing Riot Games, look, we're here to stay, we're investing in our ecosystem, we're a good partner to choose. Maybe that's kind of what's on the agenda of some of these teams at the moment. Let's dive into this qualifier then, because as Ethan says, this qualifier is an absolute bloodbath. That is absolutely true. The upsets, the results, it's so tough to qualify through these. Even if you're a massive favourite team, it's just so tough to make it through. And Sentinels have a very hard road ahead of them indeed. This I thought was funny actually from Sabrosa. Of course, TSM already qualified through the first qualifier. He predicts the 4 teams that are going to make it through. Version 1, Knights, Ghost, 100 Thieves. Good luck out there, he says. Then he says, actually, no, I forgot Sentinels was in the qualifier, guys. Sorry. I was just trolling it. I didn't mean to, kind of forget about them. And he puts Sentinels here to qualify instead of Knights. But, we'll see if it can happen. I think maybe it still can happen in some way. I think Version 1 and Sentinels can both still qualify. Ghost can't, though, along with the other guys as well. So we'll see how the bracket played out here in a second. But, it's, as Ethan said, an absolute bloodbath. This also then definitely worthy of mention, because T1 got pretty much demolished by the Sonics in this first series that they played. I guess it was the second series they played, but an important series, of course, T1 versus Sonics. And yeah, wow, they got absolutely demolished in this series, to be honest. Fair play to Sonics, but really since the whole sewers stuff on this very map split, it's really not gone their way at all, the T1 guys. So tough for them. They're down the losers bracket already. Their qualification chances pretty much out the window already, to be honest. And that's kind of why I was saying that maybe as an organisation they might consider going to another region next season after really struggling in the North American VALORANT side, no doubt, at least for the last few months. After some good success early on, as Steel said, GG's tough loss, sorry to all the fans, will be back stronger. But yeah, going to be far from easy for them at all. This is also version 1, would you believe it? The version 1 guys, with Whippy back in the team. I don't know what this video was here actually with Zelsis, but he's got the bold sis going on at the moment. But no doubt a massively favoured team to make it through here, with Whippy back in the team and Wardell being gone. Version 1 would consider to be, pretty much the clear favourites to get through. They lose a series 2-1 to none other than the Girl Kisses, would you believe it? It's yeah, great job for the Girl Kisses. But still incredible that this even happens. Version 1 fall down. Their losers bracket run is just so difficult already. So this is honestly one of the biggest upsets of the day. There was some talk about this actually, just some Asuna, because people were wondering how random is this game, like how easy is it to predict who's going to win? Do you just like toss a coin and that's who the winner of the series is going to be? And Asuna actually says here, because I unironically think this game has gotten more random as the days have gone by, saying that like, look, nowadays it's pretty much like, it's very difficult to predict who's going to win. Now, maybe that's true to a degree, but I think honestly the competition is very high. I think maybe to some degree the meta does influence how random the game is. At the same time though, I do look back at, Masters that's just gone, and we saw Optic really reach new levels in the final 2 series they played, winning 6 straight maps to win the tournament. If the game was random, that probably doesn't happen. They were clearly the best team, they showed it when it mattered, and got over the line. So that's kind of the thing. I don't really agree with what Aston is saying, but of course he is playing the game day in, day out. I still think the better teams are probably going to qualify, but you do get some interesting results, and best of 3s anyway should at the end of the day show you who's the better team in theory. But yeah, Girl Kids move on. I guess they're the better team. V1 have a tough time against them right now. As I say, we'll look at the bracket here in a second. And even Saroda kind of agrees with what Aston is saying, look, predicting who's going to win in Valorant is pure RNG. But of course, it's easy for him to say now he's qualified and is safely through. Let's discuss Sentinels then, because they played a crew, a rematch from their the first qualifier. They took down a crew 2-1. Of course, Kanpeki, formerly of a crew, he comes into Sentinels, gets the better of them before. Not the case this time around. They obviously did the preparation, they did the work. Sentinels, after bringing in, Raucus just a day or so ago, they play in this match and they fall down to losers. Like as Dephh says, the kind of basically the copy pasta comes through, but honestly incredible. They got 2-0s. It was a close 2-0, but in both situations, really, they had chances to win. They had a crew's backs against the wall, and they fell short. I mean, some of these clips I was seeing of the highlights of this were just shocking nonetheless, to be honest. Some of these rounds they managed to throw away. This was the game 1 here on Icebox, 13-10 in the end. A crew take it. Of course, some Sentinels do rather like losing game 1s, but of course, that's not really going to work out. I think that's what happened to a crew last time. They lost the game 1. They bounced back and won the series. They probably should have bounced back and won this map here on the Binds, but they threw away a couple of key rounds, and yeah, that was job done. 15-13 after a couple of overtimes. A crew get the series won, 15-13. Like 6 coming in, it doesn't check the corner. Unfortunate sunshine, and that's that's job done for a crew. So they move on. Credit to them. They played fantastic, but just the same old story for Sentinels, and they find themselves already dropping down to losers in a really awful situation for them now, because they find themselves in the same spot the 100 Thieves were last time around, where they will have to win 5 straight series in order to qualify for challenges, which is going to be so hard. Even TenZ lost against a crew 0-2. GG, so then well played. One more chance. So they've got one more chance for 5 times in a row. I'll just share a brief clip actually here of Sinatraa and Zoms. I think they were watching this game on stream, reacting to one of those rounds on Binds, thinking, okay, what are these guys actually doing? Not sure what ShahZaM was doing in the smoke, to be honest, but yeah, just have a look at this.
I'm legit nervous, bro.
Here. Party's over.
Okay, 2v4.
One leg.
No!
I think that's it.
What? Wait. Where'd this guy go? Did he just like walk out of his room after hitting that? He's like went AFK.
So the culmination really of what we've talked about the last few days, like all the issues with Sentinels, are certainly coming. And it's honestly not even been the last few days. It's been the last few months and the last, year, if anything, the way Sentinels have been handled that has kind of led to this point. But they will have to win 5 consecutive best of 3s to qualify for the group stage. 3 of those will have to happen tomorrow. I think they can certainly do it. But the thing is their mental going to be in the right place to actually make this happen, right? Like mentally, they must be really struggling and thinking it's all over effectively, given the way these last few weeks have gone. Even though it's not, they can still do it, but it's going to be tough to actually get yourself in the right mindset, I imagine, to make that happen. Now, this also from he made some thoughts known. Memes aside, do remember that these Sentinels guys are people. From the outside, it just seems like the community pressure has been piling on. It's fine to be critical, don't hate on them. There's a ton that goes on in teams behind the scenes that people don't know about. There's some generally good people. It's hard to explain what they're going through, especially if going from beloved worldwide to now everyone telling you that you have problems daily on every single media platform. Yeah, no doubt it's a difficult time for them. Hopefully they get through it, but they might have a long time to actually recover and think about it, because their season might just be over in a few hours time, to be perfectly honest. Because I believe, we'll have a look here in a second, that if they fail to qualify here, they might not even have a chance to get into champions. That's a seriously big deal. Sentinels pick up the phone. I just want to chat here from Tarek, so maybe he's got the solution. But yeah, these were the overall series stats just to look at real quick. Game 1 Icebox, honestly great performance from a crew. Don't want to take anything away from them, but yeah, ShahZaM had a pretty tough time, 22 kills over a couple of maps. Game 1 Icebox was certainly back and forth in the end. The crew managed to take it. And then, yeah, I mean, this one from Sentinels right here, the fact that they had a significant advantage on their early side. They lost a loads of rounds in a row to take it to overtime. And then a crew win the couple of overtimes. ShahZaM with 9 kills on the Sova, tough time for him. And I mean, yeah, they go down to losers bracket. So this is that other thing I was talking about right here. So the North American standings look like this currently. If it works the way it did last season, which it probably will, the top 2 teams last year, Sentinels and Envy, they were already through to champions. This year it's going to be Optic and the Guard, it seems right now, based on their performances so far. And then the other top 8 teams in North America battled it out in a last chance qualifier. The best team, which ended up being Cloud9, got to go to champions as well. Now this is determined by total points. As you can see, Cloud9 exit Luminosity version 1 Knights already pretty much above Sentinels. 100 Thieves, if they qualify, NRG and already qualified of course, and Rise are probably going to take the points, well, FaZe are probably going to take Rise's points based on that. So all of a sudden, Sentinels, if they don't qualify here, are going to be stuck on 40 points. Loads of other teams are going to pass them, and I don't know if that's going to be enough for them to be top 8 in North America at the end of stage 2. It's probably not, actually. Like, with the other teams qualifying, like, they're already quite a way down. They're probably just going to be outside, more than likely, of the top 8 teams outside of Optic and the Guards. And if that's the case, they won't even have a chance to qualify for champions. Like, if they lose today or tomorrow or whatever, they're probably out for the entire season. Like, no chance to do anything to stage 2, no chance to even come back for the last chance qualify and qualify for champions, because they won't have enough points, more than likely. So if that's the case, that's just unbelievable, and I can't imagine what's next for the team and the organization in that situation. But you know, look, let's look on the more positive side, because there were some teams that were having good success. 100 Thieves yesterday, like maybe, well, showing Sentinels how it's done right. Maybe we boot camp with the team, maybe we put the time in together to improve and stuff with our coaches and with all our team in the same place, and wow, well, do you know, it actually works. And Derek said it's absolutely disgusting flicks like this to win the game 1 here on the breeze. A dominant game 1 from 100 Thieves, especially considering what Sonics just did to T1. They win the game 1, they win the game 2 as well. 100 Thieves looking on fire right now in this bracket, and they are not far away at all of qualifying and booking their place in challenges. That'd be a great result for them. They've done everything right, honestly, the last few weeks. They've shown how it's done, and well, hopefully it pays off for them, to be honest. They've built their team well, they've got good coaches, analyst staff, all this type of stuff, general management, and you know, got the team in the right place, headspace is there, we've got the, you know, boot camp going on, all this type of stuff. Seems to have worked out very nicely for them, at least so far. They still have a fair bit to go. 2-0 versus Sonics, says Asuna. That now leaves the bracket looking like this. Crazy stuff. After these upsets, 100 Thieves versus NYFU, that being the New York Fury, that's the upper quarterfinals. A crew versus Built by Gamers in the other quarterfinal. So one of these 4 teams will qualify. 100 Thieves are probably the favourites here, but one of these 4 teams will go through to challenges, there was no doubt about it. This then is the other side, even crazier, because version 1 lost to Girl Kisses, Evil Geniuses took down Ghost, Knights and Dark Zero on the other side. Dark Zero managed to, well, make a comeback. I think they went down 1-0 to a Cloud9, White, the female team, but they win that one anyway, so one of these 4 teams will qualify. Probably Knights are favourites here, but who really knows at this point. And then the lower bracket is absolute chaos. Like, this is the lower bracket right now, so only 2 out of all these teams here in low round 2, only 2 of these teams get through. We've got T1 here, Gen.G are here, Ghost Gaming are here, version 1 are here. That's the upper side, so one of these 8 will qualify. Version 1 probably favourites, but who knows what's going to happen. They have so many series to win. And on the lower side, Sentinels find themselves right here, maybe on the slightly easier side of the bracket, but they need to be Pug Size, they need to be probably Cosmic Divide, and then beyond, if they want to have any chance of getting through tonight to get to challenges. And of course, well, included in that, getting to champions as well is still a possibility down the horizon, but it's going to be far from easy. Yesterday's results were still pretty unbelievable, but very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button, told you YouTube God, this is a good video, I just like you should see it as well, and upgrade the competitive Valorant community. Thank you for watching as always, take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.